Hello. Buenas noches. Buenas noches. My Spanish is not so good, sorry. So I've written this in English, except for the title of the award, which is, of course, in Spanish. The GLAAD Visibilidad Award is presented to an openly lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, Spanish language media professionals who have made a significant difference in promoting equal rights for our community. Tonight, it is my distinct pleasure to present this award to a pioneer among LGBT actors, both a talented performer and a mentor and a role model to young members of the LGBT community. Wilson Cruz has devoted his heart and his work to roles that have the power to touch lives and influence change. But the path to success was not always so easy. After growing up in New York, Cruz came out to his parents during his high school years and was kicked out of his home and left to live in his car for several months. Determined not to allow difficult circumstances prevent him from pursuing his dream, Cruz moved to California to study theater and English. In his first role in My So-Called Life, he played himself, a young, openly gay teen struggling with his sexuality and the painful experience of coming out. His experience on the show touched his own heart and filled him with pride in knowing that he had been able to make a name for himself as a young actor in Hollywood without ever once concealing or attempting to hide his sexuality. Cruz feels a special connection to the young LGBT community, especially those of color, and is inspired by their struggle, their fearlessness, their honesty, their longing, and pure, sincere effort to make people understand that they deserve to be loved and that their love deserves to be understood. I am honored to present the 19th Annual GLAAD Media Awards Visibilidad Award to my friend, Wilson Cruz.
Ay, muchísimas gracias. Había un cantante que se llamó Héctor Lavoe, un puertorriqueño, y él cantó una canción que fue Mi gente, lo más grande de este mundo. Y esos son para mí. I would first like to thank Jay, my little brother, who I want to take the opportunity to say that he's done the exact same thing. He's just a couple years behind me, that's all. Not much, don't get it twisted. And I admire him and I love him and I'm so happy that he was here to do this. I'd also like to thank GLAAD for its leadership and its courage. For me to be acknowledged by this organization whose overriding mission is to insist that the larger culture speak to us and about us with dignity is an immense honor for me. As a young gay Latino man, I longed to be visible, to be seen, and to be heard in both communities. It was easy to feel otherwise. As a young gay man in the Latino culture, homosexuality was still a taboo subject. When it was spoken of, it was usually as a punchline of a not-so-funny joke. But being a young Latino in the gay community wasn't much easier. The gay media at the time was whitewashed. There were no examples of happy, well-adjusted gay Latino men to speak of. And it was clear that the color of beauty at the time was not brown. Clearly, that's changed. But here were the two groups with which I identified the most, and I never felt completely welcomed in either. But tonight, because of you, I feel like I'm coming home. I'm going to get all puffy. Because of the work GLAAD has done to educate both communities, a young gay Latino man can look forward to a day where he is at home wherever he goes. I was quite fortunate growing up because I was infused with a sense of self-worth. See, I am the son of two people who are here with me tonight. My parents, Wilson Sr. and Iris. Please stand up. These are the people who, perhaps because they were familiar with the world they were bringing me into, taught me to not only accept myself, but to celebrate and have pride in who I am. Growing up, my brothers and I were taught to be proud of the rich history that we have as Puerto Ricans, and that when we walked out into the world, we not only represented ourselves, but we represented them and our people. I think they knew that the larger culture would try to make us feel invisible, and they were right. So they armed us with an identity and an awareness that we could use to combat that tendency. Tonight, I want to thank them for that and for supporting me and loving me, even when they didn't completely understand. See, too much has been written about our struggle as a family, but not enough has been said about our triumph. I think my family's path to understanding and acceptance can be an example to anyone who has lost hope. See, the lesson here, the lesson that we learned is that if there is love and a willingness to understand and really see each other, we can overcome even the most seemingly insurmountable odds. With their love and acceptance and the support of my friends and this community, I have strived to be that gay Latino man I searched for, and to create a body of work that I hope illuminates who we are. 13 years after coming out professionally, I'm that old, I have come to learn that while I love being an actor, I love it, the most satisfying moments of my career have been the opportunities I've had to affect change in the lives of people who identify with the characters that I've played and with me. So whenever I receive a letter or an email of thanks, like on MySpace, or I am stopped in the street by a young gay Latino man, I'm reminded of how it felt to be him many, many years ago. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the opportunity to make it a little different for him. And I hope that he feels that he is visible, that he is seen, and that he is heard. I'm truly humbled by this. And I thank you.